And I don't know who needs to hear that, but everything is not discussed in the email, which is why you need to thoroughly read the contract. You know how I feel about creators getting paid what they deserve. Versus when you're in the social media streets. Hey y'all, it's Kameron with a K, come to you guys with a new video. So as you can tell by the title, today's tea is all about how the influencer marketing industry works. If you guys haven't seen my video on why it works, definitely check that video out. I wish I had my legal tea mug, but I don't. It's in the dishwasher, but that's okay, because if you haven't seen it, that just means you're going to have to stick around or go watch another video so you can see what I'm talking about. But really quick intro for those of you that don't know who I am. Hello, hi, my name is Kameron with a K, Kameron Monet. I'm an attorney, content creator, and entrepreneur. With my attorney hat, I help influencers, entrepreneurs, and my fellow creatives out when it comes to navigating the contract space in the influencer marketing and social media world. I love everything about contracts. I know these seem kind of boring, but like I love them. I nerd out about them. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about contracts that you're signing with brand deals, with modeling opportunity, with television show, broadcasting, all those things, definitely make sure you guys reach out to me. Of course, I cater really to influencers. So I say I'm an influencer marketing consultant, influencer marketing lawyer, as well as social media. But anyways, enough about me, y'all. Since I don't have to see, I'm doing my water. Stay hydrated. I'm almost out. Okay, but let's get into it. Okay, so first I'll say there are so many different ways for this process of the influencer marketing to go from either brand reaching out or influencer reaching out to brand all the way to payment. I was gonna say posting, but it's so much more even after that, like the post-production of everything. So I'm gonna try to talk about everything in categories. Some of it may overlap, but I'm trying to stick to the timeline so the video will make sense. But again, if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. But if you want a more detailed answer, book a clarity call with me and I'd be glad to jump on a call so that we can handle your situation accordingly. So first things first, it's the outreach. Either the brand reaches out to you, creator, influencer, entrepreneur, and or you reach out to them. I personally prefer for the brand to reach out to me, and I know it's like, of course, like that's the ideal situation, right? Because I truly believe there is a different level of leverage and a different level of negotiating you can do when the brand reaches out to you, because it's like, you asked me, like you came to me, you want to work with me. But seriously, but that's not to say that you don't have any leverage or you don't have any negotiability when it comes to you reaching out to the brand, because you absolutely do. If you've been on my channel or on any of my platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, then you know how I feel about creators getting paid what they deserve. I don't play about that over here, and neither should you. So you can absolutely negotiate, always negotiate, always negotiate. Did I say always negotiate? Because that's what you need to be doing, okay? So that's the first step. It's the outreach. That's the part where a lot of creators get nervous or they don't really know how that works, so then it's really hard to get later down the line. Now the outreach can look various different ways. Again, you can send a cold pitch, they can send a cold pitch, and or maybe you're on an influencer marketing platforms, and I think it's a great place to start if you're a newer creator and get your foot in the door in the influencer marketing industry. Check out influencer marketing platforms. There's so many different out there. I'm not going to shout any out in particular, but if you Google it, there are so many platforms that are so beneficial, and it really just helps you, one, exercise your negotiating muscle, but also learn different terminology and just the process in general of how it works in a practical step versus watching videos, which are super helpful. I hope this is going to be helpful, but also getting experience in how it actually works is going to benefit you as well. So get on those platforms. I still use them. And then also, I'm not going to tell y'all this. Okay, lean in. Little pro tip. Sorry about the lighting. But if you get on the platforms, there's a possibility that a brand could find you just through the platform, right? So then now you're going against, let's say, 20,000 people versus on Instagram, YouTube, etc. it's against millions of people. So it's more likely for a brand to find you when you're on a platform, i.e. you have a profile on those platforms, versus when you're in the social media streets. Not to say they won't find you and your great content, because they will. They will. But imagine that, being a small fish in a big pond versus a big fish in a small pond. See what I'm saying? You see what I did there? After the outreach comes the negotiating, contracts, trying to really define the relationship. So let's call it outreach. Now it's defining of the relationship next. So defining of the relationship means, is it going to be a gifted opportunity? Is it going to be affiliate based, commission based? Is it going to be a payment? Is it going to be a flat fee? Is it going to be over the course of some months? All of those questions should start to get answered within this time. I will tell you, a lot of this happens in the email. However, you will notice you'll get a contract that is much longer and more detailed than that email. That goes to tell you how in depth you need to thoroughly read that contract, because everything was not discussed in the email. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but everything is not discussed in the email, which is why you need to thoroughly read the contract. I do not care if I read your contract for you, which I do for my clients. I always put heavy emphasis on, you're the one signing it. You need to understand this, and you need to ask me and or a consultant or a lawyer or someone if you do not understand a term. You don't want to overlook a term or a phrase or a clause or anything within a contract that you're signing and putting your name and it's legally binding. You just don't want to do that. Why take the risk, right? Like 9 times out of 10, nothing's going to happen. But that 1%, it's giving very much scary. So an example I like to use is car insurance. I don't get in my car and I'm like, I got car insurance, about to hit somebody. No, I have car insurance as a just in case. It's a safety net, and that's the same thing for a contract. You hope that you don't have any legal issues. You hope that they pay on time, and you hope that they do this and that. Everyone completely fulfills their obligations through the contracts, and it's nice and it's great, but every once in a while, that's just not the case. So you want to make sure you are thoroughly protected by your contracts, which is why defining of the relationship is so important, so that both you and who you're working with and vice versa understand what you're bringing to the table. I want you to understand that you are just as valuable as that brand. Yes, you're excited to work with that brand, and maybe it's your first time or like it's your dream brand, but at the end of the day, it's business to business. You are a business creator, influencer, okay? So that means you need to act as if you are running a business when it comes to those negotiating. Don't just, oh, it's just fun, whatever. And if that's, I will say, no, wait a minute. If it's just a hobby and you're like, girl, if they send me some money, cool, whatever, that's fine. Don't be worried about it. But I will say, when you accept less, because I've done this, I feel like I'm hindering the growth of the industry, because that brand now is processing, okay, this person with this following is willing to do this, and or this person is willing to do this, so then why would we pay the actual rate to someone else? But I will say that also all of this kind of combined, I feel like now I'm getting a rant, but the pro and the con when it comes to the defining of the relationship and the contracts and the negotiating is that there is no base rate obligation for the brand, right? But that's a pro, because I always say, if I'm an expert in something, I want to have the ability to charge more, right? And I don't want a brand to think, oh, well, this is the standard price, but not to go any higher. No. And or they're thinking, oh, well, so-and-so charged this, so I can pay this to them. No, that's not the case. So I think both parties, as in us as influencers and creators and the brand, needs to have an open mind when it comes to the concept of rates and defining the relationship. So let's talk about affiliate links and commission. When it comes to agreeing to this type of relationship, creators and influencers, listen up. How I gauge it is if, when I'm already organically talking about it, it makes it a lot more easy for me to promote it, and I still struggle with this, right? Because that's not my area of expertise in this industry. I'm not like an affiliate girl, as I like to put it. However, I do share products and I do get payment from several affiliate links, right? So you need to understand that every opportunity isn't a great opportunity. Everything that glitters ain't gold, right? Even if you're like, you know what, I just want to get my foot in the door and then hopefully it'll turn to something else, but also keep in mind that maybe it won't. Maybe they will only ever offer you commission. And if that doesn't work for you, try to figure it out in a different way. If you can just buy the product, is what I'm saying. Let's just say you're like, I can just buy the product and I can post if I'd like. That may be more beneficial to you in the long run, because then you can create organic content. You're not feeling that extra pressure and push of the commission just to try to make a little bit of money, because listen, as all creators say, they're like, oh, we only make a little bit. Really, it'd be like tiny itty bitty cents, okay? I mean, literally, you can sell like 20 different items and make 10 cents. It's like, the math not mathing, but that's the math, okay? So that's the thing about affiliates and commission. So I'm not against them. I do them. I'm, of course, a part of a partner with several different affiliate programs. And it's just the mindset around it, to me, is easier when you're organically promoting something you already use. For example, I love dermatological products. I've never done a partnership with them, but I'm a part of the affiliate program and they send me products, and that's my favorite skincare line. to love. They send me products. I love their skincare. There's so many different specific brands. I'm a part of their affiliate program. But pro tip, if you can't get in on a particular brand, get on Magic Links, Shop Style, Reward Style, which is connected to Like to Know It, all those other general platforms that connect to so many different brands and businesses and products that we love. Now let's talk about gifting, okay? I wish I had my mug, but let me take a sip. I'm not against gifting, but I think there's a... See, listen, okay? My phone was shocked on this conversation. I'm not against gifting, but there's a limit. There's a limit, and I think brands, even influencers, allow it for them to take advantage of that. If you know for a fact you want a paid opportunity in the long run, but you already like the product, especially like fashion brands, y'all, but I will say it's beneficial to get fashion. It is because you gotta take the photos, but they should pay us too, you know, like, it should be a healthy balance between accepting free and then finally they're paying you in, or some gifting and back and forth. You know, you got to find that happy medium. But sending product can't pay the bills, basically. Let me just throw that out there. Sending you product cannot pay the bills. However, it can open other doors. If you're like, you know what, I really just can't afford a new wardrobe all the time, and there's a brand that's like, hey, we'll send you products every week, every month, as long as you post one post, cool. But you hear that, as long as you post, as soon as there's an obligation in there, come on, somebody. As soon as a brand is obligating me to do something, I'm required to do X because they sent me Y. That's a sponsored content. I want y'all to know that. Did somebody hear that? That's a sponsored piece of content. Even though it's gifted, it's sponsored once they obligate you to do something. I want y'all to understand that difference. There's a difference between PR, like especially during the holidays, like I'm just getting packages, it's great, I love it. I say no a lot more now because child, I just be having packages for no child, okay. But that's great because you're sending me product that I can use in future content. I can practice creating content with that product, which I think is so important for any creator of any level. It's so important to sometimes just create, right? With no obligations, no contracts, just have fun with products. So PR is great for that because you can test that out and just have fun with it with no obligations. But as soon as someone sends me a product and I'm obligated to do something, we need a contract for one. And also, I need to then now see, okay, is the amount of work that I'm going to put for this piece of content worth the gifted item now? Or should I try to push for some paid opportunity? I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comment section if that was helpful. But that's kind of how I break down the relationships, whether it's just a affiliate commission, gifted, and or like a paid partnership. And also I'll add, even within these 3 different tiers of defining the relationship with the brand, I'll add that sometimes it's important to push for more than just one partnership. I've been loving working with brands that you guys have seen recurring on my channel. For example, like last year, or not me already in 2022, but in 2021 this year, I worked with Dove long-term. I actually am now working with another company long-term. I have a few long-term partnerships. And to me, like anything 3 months, 4 months, 3 months and above, that's a long-term partnership, a recurring partnership. I love that. The dream would be to be working with like a handful of brands for 6 months to a year and things of that nature. So I can really not only cultivate a relationship with that brand, but also so you as my audience can become more familiar with that brand, and I can talk in more detail about the products and the brand and the culture and the experience and the behind the scenes of working with that type of business. So that's why long-term partnerships are a plus, and also the consistency, right? So being a creator, entrepreneur, influencer, child, all of them things, you know, that's not a traditional type of job. It's so beneficial to be able to have a projection of how much you're going to make for the next couple months. It's really nice, especially when we're talking about that net 30, net 60, net 45, net. I really don't want to do nothing over net 30, but that's a conversation we need to have in a different day. Let me know if you guys want me to do a whole video about rates, my opinion, the stories, child, a mess. But anyway, it's really nice to know how much you're making for the next few months as a creator, if that's your main source of income. Even if you're juggling things, it's just really nice to kind of get a gauge for that. And again, it's the consistency factor with your audience and with that brand. Oh, also something I want to add in the defining relationship is, it could be, one, you're being hired as an influencer where you're going to post on your platforms and they're leveraging that, right? So, and this comes down to a brand trying to decide, okay, what is the goal with this specific creator? Is the goal for us to get brand awareness on her platform? Is the goal for us to see how many sales that she can make on her platform, etc.? And or is the brand hiring you as a content creator? Meaning you're just creating content for their platform, for their program, for their app, where it doesn't really live on your platforms and or it's not obligated to live on your platform. So that's also something to gauge when you're working with brands. If you're a smaller creator, I think this is a great space to be, because honestly, as a content creator, you can charge sometimes more than you can as an influencer, because now you're being hired really as like a production team, right? They're hiring you to promote a specific product, to shoot the content, to be the model, to be the videographer, the photographer, the editor, all of those things to create content for their brand to use. So sometimes you can charge, like I said, just as much and or more depending on what that relationship and the deliverables are. So the next thing, after you have gone through the whole defining relationship, you've negotiated, you have the contracts reviewed and negotiated and negotiated and negotiated and signed. Next thing is you creating the actual content. So you want to make sure the brand gives you a guideline or a brief of some sort that goes into detail about the content you're going to create. Another great thing is to send them a creative concept with as much detail as you can. Sometimes it's really hard, admittedly. I've struggled with this because one, until I either have the product, try the product, or I'm in like creating like the time frame to create the content, I don't really know what I want to create yet. So it can be really hard to kind of think of that ahead of time, because sometimes when you're shooting, you're like, wait, I have this great idea, right? But you want to have some type of understanding between you and the brand that you're working with. So when you're shooting, you can reduce the amount of reshoots and re-edits you have to do. Okay, just take from my experience, which is, this is something that I love, that I'm a lawyer and a creator, because I literally have experienced it with you. I know how annoying it is for you to edit a video the second time, and then you ask them, is there anything else? And they say no. You send it to them and they say, the sponsorship starts at 48 seconds. Can you move it to 30 seconds? Y'all didn't say that. I tried, girl, I like to tussle, okay? I'm trying to tell you, that's fighting words. But seriously, it's so frustrating. So in order to avoid that, try to be as detailed in your creative concept and make them be as detailed in their brief, and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask the brand questions, even about the contract. This is a mutual relationship. I don't know about y'all, but if I was in a mutual relationship with somebody, like, I don't want to be scared to ask them a question. Like, I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to get details. I'm going to continue to ask questions until I'm comfortable, and vice versa. It's supposed to be a working, healthy, mutual relationship. So don't be afraid of the brand. And sometimes you never know, that may lead to you launching a collection with them, if it's a fashion company or a skincare or whatever. You never know. So just be open, honest, and excited to work with that brand and execute whatever creative concept that you both mutually see for you to create, if that makes sense. So you've created the content, reviewed the brief, everything is clear, and then now you send that content for the brand to review. So that's the next step, is sending over that content for the brand to review. And this could take some time. It really depends. So if we're talking about a timeline from the start of you reaching out or they reaching out and all the way to here, sometimes that can take weeks, months. Like, this process is so long. Sometimes by the time our audience sees the content, it's like, child, I recorded this in August, and that's real life. So sometimes you have to, for example, if you guys notice, like, a lot of creators put their Christmas stuff up very quickly, it's because they're shooting content in September, October for Christmas so that they can send it to the brand for review and be ready to post. So that's just like a quick example that I think we all can kind of relate to, but it's a process, and don't rush the process, but also don't let the brand rush you in the process. So if you're taking a few extra days or a week or so or more to review a contract, take that time if you need it. If you need to respond, if you need a few extra days to create the content to give with your photographer, let them know. But it's all about communicating. And I know it's hard to say on emails. I struggle with it, and I struggle, but I try to at least say thank you for reaching out, or thank you so much for your patience. Please allow me a few days. I'm running a little bit behind. Like, it's a relationship, and trust me, in the long run, you'd be better to over communicate than under communicate. Of course, like, don't be like, I can't do it. It's like, girl, it's not due for a month. Like, you ain't got 30 days, my guy. But some circumstances may call for that. Some personal things happen in life, and it's like, I got to shut everything down, you know? So just be open and honest. And as long as you're respectful and nice and kind and genuine, the entire relationship, when you do need a favor, or you say you're a little bit behind or whatever, the brand's going to be a little bit more like, okay, I understand. Like, you've been great this whole time, or like, thank you for just letting us know. And or, hey, we might have to go with someone else because we have a campaign dates that like we cannot move because everyone's launching those dates. But either way, understand that it's okay. Like, you're going to be fine. You'll get another opportunity if it falls, etc. So quick little tangent. But so you send the content over and they have sent you back. Either now the next step would be you re-editing or reshooting, and or it's submitted and they approve. So if it's approved, then you post on specific dates that you both have agreed upon, and then you engage with your audience. So now you're posting and engaging since it's been approved and it's exciting, and then that's it, right? No, that's not it. Next, most brands want you to send some type of analytics or statistics on how that piece of content did. So sometimes that could look like you screenshotting the story views or the comments or whatever the case may be, like the insights on Instagram or on YouTube. They want to see the analytics behind everything that was going on with that content. And most of the time in the contract, they'll say how long you need to send that, or in the brief or guideline, and you send that over, then that's it, right? No, because we still ain't paid. So 9 times out of 10, payment still hasn't been made. Now, sometimes payment is due 50% up front, maybe while you're shooting the content. Maybe you have to get the piece of content or you have to buy the product, etc. And or payment once you post. However, usually payment is after all of these things. I would like to see the industry start to favor payment at an earlier time, not the net 30, the net 45, the net 60. Net 90 is like, I'm not going to do that in this video, but just know net 90 is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But that's my tidbit on that. I think that's ridiculous. 90 days for one. If I'm a business owner, which I am, I don't want to keep up with an influencer for 90 days. Like, you can get this money. Don't hire if you can't pay them yet. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. But moving on. I get it. And I get it on both sides, right? I get it. Sometimes it's just like the roll of the dice, okay? Like, the cards you're dealt, and it has to be a little bit later. But communicate that. But I think just off the top saying that 90 is, like, absolutely uncalled for. Moving on. Tangent over. So then you wait for payment. Then you let them know you receive payment. But you also, something I want to add here. I'm sorry. How did I forget? Make sure you know what documents they need to start the net 30. So let's just use net 30 as an example. Net 30 might not start to run, i.e. day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting to 30 for you to get paid on 30th day. Sometimes that net 30 doesn't begin to run until they receive an invoice. So if you posted the content, you're like, oh, it's good, it's 30 days. You're like, where's my payment? They're like, we never received an invoice. And the invoice triggers the 30 days to begin. And you sitting there looking like, but rent. Girl, make sure you read the contract. It's all gonna come back to the contract. Please understand what you signed, okay? Because sometimes they need the W-9. They need all these other documentations in order to trigger the 30 days. And you sitting up here looking like, I want to be paid, but then do you though? Because you ain't even know when. I just did a post on this on the Legal Tea Social. But anyways, so yeah, just make sure you know when you get paid. Period. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. I feel like this is pretty general, but I hope you got some value in this video. And let me know if you guys have any other question, comments, or concerns about the industry. I would love to kiki in the comments and also create other videos to help give you guys some value on this topic. So please leave me comments and questions so I know exactly what type of topics you guys want to hear in the influencer marketing and social media world. I am so excited to be navigating the space and bridging the gap between law and social media influencing. So definitely let me know if you guys have any questions. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share this video with your family and friends. Thumbs up this video for more legal tea, period, okay? Creative tea, legal tea, all the good things that we love about social media. And if you don't know, now you know. I always end my videos with an affirmation. So if you made it this far in the video, make sure you guys comment below. I am allowed to be successful and happy. Girl, y'all better stop playing with her. Stop playing with her. Her is me. What? Y'all, wow, that is a powerful statement. I don't even have an explanation behind it. Let me just run it back one time for the one time. If you made it this far in the video, comment below. I am allowed to be successful and happy. Ooh, it's not one or the other. You can be successful and happy. Oh, somebody needs to hear that. Oh, I felt that. I felt that in my soul. Oh, let me know if you felt that, because that was good. I am allowed to be successful and happy because you are, and you deserve. You deserve. Ooh, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.